Hi guys, Pankaj here. So in this video we're going to talk about formulas. Like formulas is one of the most ignored topic that people ignore when they start learning Salesforce. So we're going to decode it in detail. So let's begin. So let's look into few definition before we begin to the main part. Formulas help you to automatically calculate the value of a field based on other fields. Basically, depending on the values of the other field, you calculate a value of a specific field or the field that you require. Okay, let's say you wanted to take two numeric fields on a record and divide them to create a percentage. Okay, to create would not be a great word, it should be calculate, to calculate a percentage. Okay, that you could do using formulas. Or suppose you wanted to calculate how many days are left until an opportunity is close date, you can create a simple formula field that automatically calculates that value. So these are just few scenarios that you could go through or create using formulas. Okay, so now let's look into formulas in detail. So let's break down formulas into different parts. The parts are operand, operator, functions, and formula date type. So now first look into operand. What is an operand? Operand is a quantity on which operation is to be done. In this case, it could be a field or a constant or any other value, text value or a numerical value. That could be your operand. Okay, and now what is operator? Operators are like the tools which are used for the operation. Example: subtraction, addition, multiplication, and like that. Operator we will look into detail in the next slide. For now you could relate to the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now what are functions? Functions are basically you could assume is a box where you just insert the operand, and at the outside of a box you get the output. That is how function work. You just insert the operand into it, and as a result you get the output which you want. What is formula data type? Formula data type determines the output data type of the output that you expect your formula is going to return. For example, it is going to be a checkbox or a percentage or a number, such that are just few of the example. We will look into it. Now let's take an example of a formula so that you could understand all these things that are written on your screen. Let's take an example. Suppose we are taking a field A, that's the name of the field. Okay, and we are adding 1. So field A is a number type field and 1 is also a number. When you add them, you get your output, and the data type is going to be a number. That is your formula data type. That is the data type of the output. Now field A is one of the operand and 1 is also one of the operand, and here the tool that is used to add them is that plus sign or the addition sign, which is your operator here. So this is how all this thing work. Now let's take an example of a function. There are various functions available for the formula, but let's take an example of one of them, and we will discuss functions in the coming videos in detail. For example, there is a len function which is used to calculate the length of a text field or a text. Okay, suppose field C is a text field. It would find the length of that field. By length it means the number of characters present in that field. Or suppose it's a string of character, say Salesforce Hunter itself, so it will calculate the total number of characters in the text Salesforce Hunter. That is just one example of a function. There are many functions and we'll look into them in detail. Keep one note in your mind: whenever you are working on formulas, only operand of compatible type can be operated on. What does it mean? Suppose field A, which is a number field, okay, and suppose instead of 1 we have a text field. Yeah, text there. We can't add a number and a text. They can't be added together because they are not compatible together. So we can't do that operation and we will get a syntax error here. Okay, that is the one point that you need to keep in mind while working with the formulas. Now we are clear with the operand, operator, functions, formula data type. Let's look into the data types and the operators. In this case, functions we are not going to discuss in this video, but I will show you few functions so that you could understand what functions actually are. Okay, so let's move ahead. So these are all the data types that are available for the formula field. Basically the return data type of a formula. First is a checkbox. Checkbox just returns a boolean value, whether true or false. If true, that checkbox get ticked. If it's false, checkbox doesn't get ticked. Okay, now currency is simply a currency field, whether dollar or any other currency. Date, you know, there's a date field. Date and time is a combination of date and time. That is also one of the data type. Then number, then percent, text, and time. Okay, you know what are these things. Okay, so these are the data types. Basically the data type of the return value of a formula. So hope you clear with it. Now let's move ahead. Now these are the things we are talking about, the operators. Okay, now operators are divided into three categories, as you can see on your screen: math operators, logical operator, and text operators. So now look into math operator. Most of them, like every one of you, will be familiar with it. Add basically adds two values, subtract difference of two values, multiply multiplies two values, divide two values. Okay, exponentially raise a number to a power of a specified number. For example, 2 is to the power 4, or 2 to the power 2 is 2 square, that would be 4. So like that, exponential, that is what it do. Operational open parenthesis and close parenthesis. Okay, specify that the expression within the open parenthesis and close parenthesis are evaluated first. All other expressions are evaluated using standard operator precedence rule. Basically, you know what is standard operator precedence rule. If you not, let me tell you. First, you solve all the values which are available in a bracket. When you enter into a bracket, then if there are two numbers having exponential sign between them, then you solve them first. If after solving that, if you find any numbers having divide sign between them, then you divide them. And if there are number having multiple sign, then you multiply them. Add and subtract have the same precedence. This is how, like, which thing you need to operate first. Okay, that is what the precedence here is. And now we come to the logical operators. First is equal operator. There are two types of equal: single equal and two equal, and both of them are same value. Basically, it is to show whether this is equal to this or not. And not equal to has two symbols, as you could see on your screen here. Okay, evaluates if two are not equivalent. Less than, greater than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, and or. And or are, now and or, if you don't know, it's evaluate either true or false. Let's take an example. Suppose we have two things. Okay, let's say first expression is 1 greater than 2, and second is, and then in between them there is and then second expression is 2 greater than 3. We know both are false, so output would be false. Okay, that is one example. Now take another example. Suppose 2 is less than 3 and there is a AND operator between them, and then there is 2 greater than 1. Both are true. In that case, the output would be true. Now suppose one of the expression is true and the other expression is false, then net output would be false. Now, or what is do if one of the expression is true, then the net output would be true. For example, let's say 1 less than 2 or 3 less than 2. Now 1 less than 2 is true, but 3 less than 2 is false. So the output would be true because the first expression is true. That is how you use and or. And also this and this or also have a precedence where this and has a higher priority. Okay, because in an expression, if there are both of these operators are present, then and will be evaluated first. Now we have on the last operator, which is the text operator. Okay, here we concatenate. Suppose we want to connect two text or two strings, so we could do that using concatenate operation. Hope you all know that string is basically a text. Okay, whenever we talk about string, we means text. String means collection of characters. Okay, that is string. So to concatenate two strings, we use concatenate operator, that is a single ampersand. Okay, ampersand. This symbol is called ampersand. Okay, now let's move ahead. Now these are the types of formulas that we're gonna learn in the subsequent videos. We will see the math formulas, text formulas, pick list formulas, date and date time field, date and date time. It also includes only time also, date and date time and time. Okay, that then image formulas, and then checkbox and other formulas like URL and other things that we would see in the coming videos. Okay, for now let's move to our org and see these formulas into action, and so that you have a better understanding of them. So let's move to our org. So we are here in our org, so let's move to setup and let's create some formula fields. Okay, let's create formula fields, suppose for the account object. Okay, account, we go, then go to fields and relationship, and then we go to form, where is new. Okay, and then we select the formulas field. Okay, formula field, after select we connect next. And now these are the data types that you expect your formula to return. Okay, let me name it first. Let's say test form. Okay, we will check it again and again using the same formula. Okay, let's take it to be the number, okay, and then we select this is the decimal values that you expect your number will return. Okay, let's say 3. Okay, let's take 3 and now go to next. And this is your panel where you design formulas now. So before we begin writing formula, there is one thing that you all should be aware of. There are two types of editor here that formula where we write formula, that is advanced formula editor and simple formula editor. We will be using advanced formula editor, but you should also be aware of simple formula editor. So now let's go to the simple formula editor. Okay, first, this is a field type where the object on which you are creating field is available, and also the parent object of that object are also shown here. That for account, user and organization is shown. Okay, and these are the fields shown with respect to the data type you selected. Since you selected return data type as number, only the number data type fields are available here. But if we go back and select, say this time text, the number of the parent available and the field available will change. Just go next and you will see now the more parent fields are available here other than the account. And also if we select account, all the text fields are shown here. Okay, that's the difference. That's one of the thing with simple. But when you go to the advanced, okay, advanced, no matter what is the return type you have selected, all the fields are available here. Okay, now if I scroll back, okay, if I go back and then this time I select number, okay, number as a return type, and next, and go to the advanced one, okay, and insert field, again you would see all the fields are available in insert. But with simple, it depends on the data type, return data type you have selected for the formula. And also one other difference is, in simple you will not get the list of all the functions that we could use. Okay, remember function I told you about? Function we will be seeing in the coming videos, but function are available with the advanced calculator, advanced formula only. Like with the simple you could use formula, but in that case you need to type it and you need to remember everyone, okay, because it will not be shown here. But with advanced it's there, so you could just directly use. Okay, that is the one of the benefit with the advanced. Okay, and also one thing with the advanced, you get this blank field handling. We will be talking about blank field handling in the coming videos, but not here. So blank field handling is available only with the advanced formula editor. With simple it's not available. Okay, so that is how this simple and advanced formula go. Now we are done with the difference between the editors. So now let's create a simple. What this formula would do is, it would just add, let's say whenever someone add a value in annual revenue in this field, it will automatically filled with the annual revenue plus 100. Let's say 100 will automatically get added to the annual revenue field and will be shown in this field called test form. Okay, not a great example, but yeah, it will give you a better overview. Either you could type all thing here like the API name of the field and plus 100. Remember here we always use the API name of the field whenever we are operating. Okay, so we will be using operate API name plus 100, basically the API name of annual revenue plus 100. Either you could type that or you could simply use the functionalities shown here, like insert field, go to the account, then search annual revenue, it comes and insert it, and then insert operator add, and then let's say we want to add 100 to it. Okay, that's it. And then there is syntax check that we do is here, and if it's correct, yeah, it's correct. Let's add description, just adding 100 to annual revenue, revenue. Okay, we are just doing that. Help text adding 100 in revenue. Okay, just leave this as it is for now. Okay, we are create, just click next. It will go and all the profiles, it should be visible. Let's see, it's available for system admin. Yes, it's then click next and then we just save. So it's done. So now let's move back here and say we want to create new account. Okay, test. Okay, test today. That's be the its name, and then select where is annual revenue. Where is it? Yeah, annual revenue. Let's give it 100. So the formula output should be, let's say give it 100. Okay, the formula output would be, it's not visible here. Okay, so yeah, let's say we save it. Account number, yeah, account number. I need to add some value there. Let's give CGH FGD. Okay, let's K, and then we go to the details section, and let's check the field that we created, test form. It's 200. Okay, that is just a simple formula. Now let's change this formula. Okay, let's change that formula itself. So does the field name test form. Yeah, just go this there and just change its type, return type. Let's see if we could do that. Yeah, there we could change here. Let's make it a text field this now. Okay, let's say now suppose let's say we want to try to add text this to this annual revenue. Now if we try to check its syntax, though we can't do here, because once you do that, okay, once you have created and you are changing the data type, if you click check syntax, it just saves it. Okay, as you could see, it's saving it, so we can't check the syntax here like that. What we use this, like we could use this option when we are creating a newly fresh formula. Okay, so here is one issue with that. Okay, it will take some time, so let's try to save it and we will see whether it's true or not. We will see the error here if once we try to save it. As you could see, incorrect parameter, text could not be added together with the number. That was one thing. Since we are changing it with the text, let's say we want to change it, say let's add hi to hi in front of a, okay, with the text. Let's concatenate. Okay, and let's select a field here. Let's say account, we go to some text. Okay, active, where is that, some text field. Let's say billing city. Okay, whatever the value in billing city, it would just add this. Okay, and I guess we are done here, and let's check syntax will not work. Let's save it. This time it will not give any issue here. It will simply save. Yeah, it got saved. Now let's move back to our formula, and the field we use is billing city. Now let's create it. Okay, we just change its name. Let's edit this itself. Okay, where is billing city? Billing city, yeah, hi is only there because billing city is blank right now. So where is billing city? Let's say we say India, no, New Delhi. Okay, New Delhi. Okay, and we save it, New Delhi, and we save it. It would be hi New Delhi. Let me refresh it, go to the details. It should be hi Delhi. Yeah, it's hi New Delhi. As you could see, there's this gap because we haven't added any space. Now let's try to add that space there as well. Hi, and then we just use a space here. Okay, let's a space, adding the space, and then again we use and. Okay, now let's save it and see. Yeah, it's saved. Now let's see it. It would be hi space New Delhi. Let me refresh it. Yeah, hi space New Delhi. That's how you add space, or basically concatenate text. Now let's change the data type again, and return data type, I mean. So let's change it to the number. This time we will be using a function, so that you could also get an overview of the function as well. So we will be using a len function which calculates the length of a string. Okay, and we'll be storing in this test form field. Okay, so let's edit it again, and this time we say change that to say number. Okay, and change to the number, then use that function. Okay, here is the bifurcation depending on the type, text function, and that name is len. Okay, yeah, here it is, insert. Okay, I click 2 times, then let's change this text to the length of say some. formula field, let's say account name. Okay, let's make it the account name, land name. Okay, and it will just calculate the length of the account name and will store in this field. Just we save it. So it's done. So yeah, it's done. Let's move back here and create a new one. Okay, new account. This time let's name it Pankaj. Okay, as you could see, Pankaj has 6 characters, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, it's 6, 1 2 3. Yeah, it's 6 characters, so that field would give us the value as 6. Okay, let's give account number as some garbage values, and we are done. And just save it and to check it, let it load. It would give us the value as 6. Okay, let me refresh it again. Tail, and it's 6. Yeah, this 0.00 is depending upon the number of decimal we chose when create. These are some of the important pointers that you should be aware of. So for the first point is white space doesn't matter. You can insert as many spaces and line breaks as you want without affecting a formula. For that means, suppose you have add 1 and then you could just type plus space 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 and then plus and then space 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 and 2. That will not affect your formula. Or you could add 1 in one line, then plus us 1 and 1 and that plus addition symbol in one line, and you go to the next line and you add 2. Now even that will calculate the value. That will not affect. So white spaces doesn't matter. Formulas are case sensitive, so pay attention to capitalization of field and object name. So it will come issue when you are using the simple editor. In that case you need to type most of the things, but if you are using the advanced, the fields are available there, so you could just select them. So that will prevent you from having the case sensitive error. And also when working with formula, the standard order of operation applies, and the same goes for the and or operation that I told you about. That bracket comes first, then exponential, then division, then multiplication. Addition and subtraction have same priority, and in that and or, the and has the higher priority. If these are the available present in the same expression, then and would be operated first. Similar goes with the when we working with a number. So these are the important pointers to keep in mind. Hope you enjoy the video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.